Good morning, friends. It's me, Pastor Scott, with another daily word of encouragement for today, Thursday, February 25th. Today's word comes from Romans chapter 1, starting with verses 14 through 16. This is the Apostle Paul writing these words under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. He says, I am obligated both to Greeks and non-Greeks, both to the wise and the foolish. That's why I'm so eager to preach the gospel also to you who are in Rome. For I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes. First to the Jew, then the Gentile. The gospel, that is the good news of Jesus the Messiah, is the greatest example of the reversal of power the world has ever seen. The creator and redeemer of the world, who was promised through the Old Testament prophets, fulfilled his promise. He fulfilled his promise by expressing his saving power, as Paul says, to the Jews and Gentiles, literally to everyone who believes. And God's power is shown not in conquest, but in sacrifice. God's power is demonstrated through sacrifice and submission on the cross. And it seems a little bit foolish to the world. This is what Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 18. For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. God's power expressed through Jesus' death on the cross seems foolish or even scandalous to the world. But for us who believe, it is power not of domination, but power of freedom. God's saving power is unlimited in its supply. It's available to everyone who believes in Jesus. God's saving power is power for people, not power over people. And this saving power saves us from the consequences of our sin and disobedience, but this saving power saves us for a life of freedom and fellowship with our Creator and Redeemer, Jesus. The Apostle Paul says that he is obligated. In other words, he has to talk about it. But then he says, I am eager. In other words, I get to talk about it. It's such a privilege to talk about Jesus and his power and salvation. How about you? Do you feel a compulsion and an eagerness to share what God has done in Jesus? I don't mean we start yelling at others in street corners or with bullhorns or handing out tracts instead of tips in restaurants or forcing every conversation artificially into a conversation about Jesus. That's just weird. Instead, consider taking an opportunity that God might give you today to share about the greatest reversal of power the world has ever seen, a power that is available to every person no matter what they have done or are doing, a power that may seem foolish, scandalous to some, but power that saves us from sin and saves us for an incredible life of forgiveness and freedom. This power has transformed my life and can transform your life as well. I'm eager to talk to you about it this morning. It's a privilege and an honor. Thank you for listening. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.